Good morning, guys. Good morning. We are here.
I'm looking at something.
What? Oh my gosh, he's starting already. Good morning to you guys. Who's first? Let's see who's first today. There's Sandra. She's the early bird. Quit it. You got to say hello.
I did. Hey,
Oh, you did.
how you doing? I'm looking at this girl right here. She's nasty this morning, boy. She look good.
Oh my,
And ain't nobody fool you now.
oh my God.
Polished up and shining.
Anyway, hey, Dee Dee and
This-
George.
This is the flower on my table.
Yes, darling.
Yes, darling. Yes,
Hey,
darling.
Brother Joe.
Joe,
Good morning, Diane.
Diane,
James D. I'm glad you're here.
James
Huh?
D. I'm
Yeah.
just speaking.
Yes, I see. There's my sissy and brother-in-law. Hey, sissy.
Oh Lord, look who I see there now. Oh my gracious day.
Good morning, Deb.
Deb. Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed spending time with you the other day. And there's Apostle Norman. Good morning, Pastor
Norman
Norman.
J. Phyllis Torrance. Pat Hayes.
And you're going to go down the line.
Well, who is that right there? Pat.
Hey, Sister Pat. Hey, Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
We got your dad's message at the end of your call with Pastor.
Yeah, we didn't get it to the very end, but I was glad to hear he sounds good. He sounds strong now. I tell you, he's talking right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't. Hey, I think he's ready to cut a step.
You're a mess. Hey, Buzz.
Buzz Jr.
Buzz.
Boy, I'll tell you all on the ball.
Hey, Brother K.
Brother K.
Brother Kessler, you still doing house handyman stuff, or you just doing something else? You hadn't let me know. Anyway, we love you guys, and we are glad you're here with us. Let me take this banner down because I know it's going to get in our way. I had something up there this morning I wanted you to see. See, let me make sure I can put it back. Yeah, about love. See, I'll do it this way. Where love, it says, love is the collapse of the sense of separation.
Mm-hmm.
Love is the desire to remove the gap. Love is a desire to be one and not two. Love can never be demanding, but instead sets one free. Love has no self-interest and is never concerned with winning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Winning is not in the vocabulary of love. Love has no reason to love. It just is. Love desires nothing from the other. Mm-hmm.
Cannot be threatened.
Needing to be right is not the language of love. Love holds no position to argue.
Oh. Sounds like somebody's finding out who the true self is.
Love cannot be threatened.
Ooh. And look at here. The fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. That does not mean that you don't have the contraries next to this. It means that since the contraries are there, you know now through the contrary who you really are. Your opposite will tell you which way to see yourself, regardless of how hard it is. Like my shoulder been acting ugly in my body.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
This morning, as I went out, it acted ugly, and I'm prepping, getting ready for the internal workings of a surgical person to go in this right shoulder and fix it again or fix it back. But at the same time, I am still the fruits of the Spirit.
Yes, yes.
And I'm glad that I don't have to work at it, labor with it, because it is a finished deal.
Hello, Sinette. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Rock.
That's Miss Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sissy said that's an awesome reminder, and it is. In fact, I was reading. Let me take that down so you guys can see us. In fact, I was reading um, in in our scriptures on Thursday when we were with Pastor Norman in the impromptu. The scripture, and those of you who are local cornerstoners who were with us in the brick and mortar, you know this. You've heard this already, but Pastor used to read this and tell us, "This is who you are," and it's the chapter 13 of First Corinthians,
Mm-hmm.
where it talks about charity.
Mm.
Okay, and I'm going to start at the fourth verse,
Right.
and this is what he used to have us do. It was like a little mini exercise he
Mm-hmm.
had us to do, where we would actually have a glimpse of who we actually are.
Mm.
It says, charity suffers long. That's you. And is kind. That's you. Charity envies not. That's you. Charity vaunts not itself, is not puffed up. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Does not behave itself unseemly.
Mm-hmm.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Seeks not her own. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Is not easily provoked.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. Thinks no evil. That's you. Rejoices not in iniquity. That's you. But rejoices in the truth. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Bears all things. That's you. Believes all things. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopes all things. That's you. Endures all things.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. Charity never faileth. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
If God is love and God is love, and you are that God is, and that makes you love. So that's you.
Mm-hmm.
This is you. So we get lost in the personality, the construct that's been built that we think we are, and miss what we truly are.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what we do?
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now we come home.
Yeah.
We're back at the house.
Back at the house.
We're back at the house. We're back home.
It's because, and I want to read this because I had this written down, and I wanted to just kind of make sure I lay this foundation. It says this: our limitations are not our essence. These limitations are found in the instrument that makes the expression of essence possible. That's this body and mind.
Mm-hmm.
This is the instrument. This instrument is our personality or ego,
Mm-hmm.
the composite whole made up of our physical, emotional, and mental bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So we get caught up in that, in being that, and miss what we truly are.
Mm-hmm. Now, eventually, you're going to find out how to use the muscles of your soul to push your God self out through the openings that came from the pain of your childhood to be used as an asset and not a liability.
Can you say that one more
Okay.
time?
Okay. The muscles of our soul or the eternal self will push God, the God self, the real us, out through the openings that came from the pain that we went through at birth, in our teenage days. Everything that was seen to be painful to us will become an asset and not a liability.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
The person who wants something all the time in personhood is not the real us, because in our true self we are fulfilled and complete. Now, get brace yourself, because brace something. I don't care what it is yourself. Just hold on, because this you that we talking about and been talking to and hear from is going to be more refined and much more easier, because of the opposites seem to be standing more in the forefront than who we are as the eternal self.
Yeah, yeah.
That is an indication that you must be on the right track, because if you were not, you wouldn't be dealing with your feelings and the mind. The mind is stubborn.
Yes, yes.
Because it has convinced and been conditioned from such a quote as day one.
And before the mind comes subject to you as essence, it has to be convinced that you know who you are. It will continue to act as it will continue to attack and molest until it is convinced that you are fixed in who you are.
When you make a phone call and you're calling a place to get information, sometimes the recording will come on and say, this is a recording, and everything that we are saying on this line will be recorded for evidence and indication. And it said, if you will hold on, a representative would be with you as soon as possible. And you are now either the next one on the list, or there are several calls ahead of you. But be patient. We will get to you according to the place that you hold.
Right, right.
All right.
They'll let you know what number you are in line.
Yeah, what number?
Hold still. You got some cookies in your beard.
Yeah, that's the grocery store. So now we are at a place of great waiting in the place of peace. The place of peace is what we are, who we are.
Okay.
And the personhood is that part that wants to lose it and gain it every time. You see, you shouldn't have to. I'm going to lay this to you now. You shouldn't have to come online with us.
But we want you to come on. But we want you to come on.
We want you to come, but you shouldn't have to come online just to get another drink, or another charge, or another quick.
I absolutely understand what you mean, and I'm having to become comfortable with being empty, feeling empty.
Oh, now you're talking.
And the emptiness. I'm coming to the place of being comfortable, being empty, or just having the experience of being empty. I've been used to in the past, whenever, especially if I had to speak or talk or whatever, I've been used to in the past, I had to know ahead of time what I was going to say. And but I realize now that's the mind that wants to know, because the mind can't deal with uncertainty. And so the mind kind of gets perplexed when there's the sensation of emptiness. But emptiness is the actual place of home. It's home, because there's no push, no pull, and the inspiration that I used to look for outside and through, like you said, you don't have to listen to us, shouldn't have to listen to us. The inspiration that I used to look for in books, the inspiration I used to look for in music, all of those places where I still do get inspiration, I no longer look for it there, because the true inspiration comes from within, and it comes up out of that emptiness.
God, your real self, is being baptized, covered with you.
Yes, yes.
God is your baptism.
Yes.
God is your awakening self.
Can I read something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a list here of signs of enlightenment.
Oh, I like that.
Can I read some
Go
of it?
right ahead.
And you can stop me whenever. But I wanted to make sure that I read this. And one of the reasons I wanted to is because we talked to our sweetheart yesterday, one of our sweethearts, and she's dealing with some things. And I think a lot of it's because of her enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some of the things that take place when you start to really get close to that fixed knowing of who you are. This is kind of what happens to you. And for one of the things happens is your sleep patterns change.
Yes.
You will feel restless, and sometimes you'll feel restless and not tired. Sometimes you'll feel tired, but your sleep patterns will be altered because your body has to adjust to new life. Okay. And then sometimes you'll have shivers or crawling sensations, tinglings on the scalp, or feeling pressure on the crown, like someone's pushing down with their finger. Flashes of inspirations, creativity, thoughts and feeling, vibrations around the head and ears. Now, I haven't experienced all of this. You may not experience all of this, but you may experience some of this. But then he says, don't worry, this is the opening of the crown chakra. It's the flowing out of the top of the head in and out. So it's you may begin to feel sensations there. Sudden waves of emotion and feeling sad, lonely, happy, or angry for no reason.
And sometimes you just sit and just travail and cry.
Yes.
Tears.
So these are all things being birthed out or pushed to the surface because of your knowing, because of it. And then it says, this is the release of blocked emotions. And it's coming down from the heart chakra energy center. So let them arise and let them go. That's the way you deal with it. Old issues keep coming back. At times you'll feel very lost. And our sweetheart that we talked to yesterday, she was feeling that. That's what she was feeling. Or that was Friday, but she was feeling that. And so a lot of times this is what's happening. We don't realize it, especially when we're embarked on this spiritual journey. We don't realize that it's the changes taking place in our body, in our mind, our whole psyche. Everything has to adjust to that. This is a deep cleansing. Old issues come back, and at times you feel very lost. Your eating habits change. You have a more healthy lifestyle. If your eating habits don't change automatically, your body will have a physical condition that will force you into that change. So that's the other thing. You start to have issues, and you have to make the adjustment. Yeah. So everything's working on for your good. You find God as you, and you as Him as everyone, even if they don't believe it. And as you surrender to unconditional love, your body and mind change. This is caused by a vibrational change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Your senses increase and heighten in sensitivity. Your sixth sense, which is your third eye, opens up, and you become much more aware of subtle energies. And you were talking about that before we went live. How that Paul found out things by revelation.
He went up to check with the other boys after had that Damascus Road experience, but he was blind until Cornelius, I guess it was one of them that came in and laid hands on him, and his eyes opened.
Yes.
But the gospel that we're preaching now, they did it a little bit different than what we do now. In other words, they are, say, the 12 or the apostles, whatever you want to call them. They had the living panoramic experience of being with the Christs. So now we should pattern ourselves after the same experience.
Well, they had him in the flesh to learn and be mentored by, but Paul got it all by revelation.
He said by revelation,
which means it was revealed to him intuitively.
That's right.
So he experienced everything that they experienced, but he experienced it without his body. His body wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says you begin seeing sparkles of lights and colors, shadows, or
Uh-huh.
balls of energy,
Uh-huh.
grids of light, movement from the corner of your eyes. You may also hear your name being called, voices or humming in your ears,
Mm-hmm.
like something's tuning,
I
fleeting,
just heard that before you read.
fleeting
Mm-hmm.
smells, and become aware of someone being close to you.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to see the world with new eyes. You feel loving and at one with everything, good and bad. You will
Mm-hmm.
desire more and more to break free. This is the thing. You will
Mm-hmm.
desire more and more to break free of restrictive patterns and old habits that don't serve you anymore.
Okay. Now,
I got a couple more, but I'll wait. I'll
yeah,
hold
go
on.
ahead. Go ahead. If you want to read them, go ahead.
Okay. And the other is you begin to notice more and more signs that speak directly to you on a very profound level. They will have great meaning to you as your awareness blossoms and synchronicity flows faster. Like you get in the car and all of a sudden you make all of the stoplights, all of them are green.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Synchronicity begins to line up for you. Uh, Past life memories increase in detail.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
begin to notice things about yourself and remember things about a previous lifetime. There will be no limit to the coincidences that take place. This is the rest of the born again experience. I looked yesterday online and I saw where they were talking. Medical science is trying to figure out why some people go in a coma and when they come out, they're speaking a whole foreign language and they never
Mm-hmm.
learned that foreign language. And it's probably because a past life is being
Mm-hmm.
recalled.
Now, you are ready to step out into the deep waters, and the fear that you used to have in stepping out is removed. You're not like you used to be now. You just, it's as you move into this thing of awareness, you begin to see what they call checking your list and checking it twice.
You just got that because Jill said,
She,
Sinette said, check, check, check.
yeah, she did say that.
Yeah,
I looked
because
at.
she's probably experiencing a lot of those things. I want
Mm-hmm.
to address what Buzz says. He said, I know what awakening means, but I still have feelings of not being good enough. And uh, I think all of us have those things, Buzz. So the main thing is to remember, not so much to remember, but to be aware of the fact that you are that one that is aware of the feelings of not being enough. You are the
Mm-hmm.
one aware of those feelings, not the one who has those feelings. But you are the one who is aware of those feelings.
Well, everybody's physical venture attached to this oil of pureness
Mm-hmm.
is being filtered through those seemingly bad places or
Mm-hmm.
scars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want you to go deep enough into seeing your true identity
Yes.
that you can look at all of them and say to all of it, with the way you see it, you forgive it and you are no longer a slave to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many times you feel like. Now, I know that there are mornings you get up, your body wake up,
Mm-hmm.
it can be ugly,
Sure enough.
but never lose
And
sight.
sometimes it's not even your body, it's your
That's
feelings.
right.
And you're not even sure where those feelings come from. Can I share also what I was reading yesterday, talking about finding the balance in our
Mm-hmm.
lives
Mm-hmm.
and, and knowing where those triggers and beginning to see what triggers those emotions or moods that you may not even know why you feel that way. And I've said this before, but I've gotten more clarity on it just yesterday and Friday. Uh, I have always enjoyed cloudy days. It's my favorite. I love cloudy days. I feel really invigorated on cloudy days and content for some reason. Well, I know what reasons is now. And on sunny days, I feel really good until uh, late afternoon. And I start to have these sad feelings. This sad mood would come over me.
Mm-hmm.
For years, I didn't know what it was, but I learned that the mood was coming from when I was really, really young, and I'd sit on the curb on Friday evenings, starting around 3 and 4 and 5, waiting for my mom and dad to come pick us up from my grandparents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed with our grandparents all week because mom and dad couldn't keep us at home and go to work. So we were with them all week. And then on the weekend, mom and dad would pick us up.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some weekends that they didn't come. So that sadness would hit me around 5 and 6 o'clock. And then I would be sad for the rest of the evening, realizing they weren't going to come. So
Mm-hmm.
even now in the subconscious data, that programming is still there. And so I didn't realize for a long time why I would feel that same mood every evening when the sun was shining, and that I loved more cloudy days because there was no sunset. So I have discovered the trigger,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have to fix it now because I know it's the data, just the data being brought up, and
But
it's not who I
you
am.
remember I taught a class one time about the black box,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
every anniversary is recorded in the pain body
Yes,
connected to and inside the download in the black box.
yes, and the black box is the subconscious.
It's a part of the subconscious that
Yes.
lives, that it makes itself seem like it's a real you
Because the
doing
event
it to
still
yourself.
lives. The
Yeah.
event still lives,
Mhm.
yeah, in the subconscious. And my sister says, I remember those feelings. Yeah. So that those feelings, so you don't have to change them. That's the thing. I don't have to change that now. When those feelings come up, I know where they're coming from, and I know that they're not me, but it's the data. It's the data running. And because I know it's the data, the impact of it isn't as strong.
Mhm.
And so eventually it'll probably go away. It will go away. And if it doesn't, I'm okay. I'm okay because I don't identify with it anymore.
Okay.
Uh,
You are a divine transition.
of divine transition.
Mm-hmm. Your divine transition.
So we're in motion. We're not static.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Uh-huh. Our true discernment is to be used to recognize the highest self or the highest part of all of us. These things that we talk about will eventually become what you call second nature.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Now, your opposite will always make itself known. So why not allow your right side, which is eternally connected to the universe and to God, let it become part or a participator more on a deliberate basis than by per se or by default. Yeah. We don't want to
Mm-hmm.
operate by default anymore. We want to be
We
a
want it to be
deliberate.
deliberate.
Yeah.
Yes. We want to live deliberately.
I want,
Yes.
and like somebody say, like I was talking to Miss Rudd this morning, how her husband is on the other side, and he passed this week past,
Yeah.
and she wanted to see him, and I told her I've seen him since he's been over there, but I said I I was given some information, signs from him to let her know that I was in touch with him.
Mm.
And one of the things was he kept pointing down to his feet with no shoes on. And I kept looking at it, and he said, feet. And in that, she said, he always did say and think that he had pretty feet. And
Really?
yeah, I talked to her about that this morning.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a chance to talk
Yeah,
to her.
and she was strong this morning, and you guys know about her husband passing
Yes,
this week.
many of you have been
Many of you.
praying for her. Local cornerstoners, those of you who are not local, you wouldn't know what we're talking about.
Right.
But yes, those of you who are local here, You've been praying with Tiffany regarding her
Mm-hmm.
husband just now
Mm-hmm.
transitioning. But yeah, I'm glad you had a chance to
Yeah.
talk to her. I wanted to address what Sinette said, or just mention what
Yeah.
Sinette said. She said, I have a sentence at the moment. I tune into the vibration of worthy,
Mm-hmm.
freedom. Then the feeling comes to the heart and let it feel myself.
I would love to sit down. I wish it was possible in the physical. I would love to sit down and look at the Christ that you are, flow through the openings and the gates of your generational inherited Christ identity
Hmm.
of beingness. And in that moment, I would love to be able to touch, hear, and see the movements of God in you if you get up and walk across the floor, if you answer the telephone. This is a conglomerate of the grace of God
Hmm.
that I'm sensing in all of you that can never be changed and can never be anything else but pure love of God.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's take a walk
Mm-hmm.
on the Damascus Road. Let's take a walk on the road of eternity. Let's take a look at the steps. And as you look down at the steps that you're making, you're going to find out that some of those steps you've made it before.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Every bridge that you crossed will be there waiting for you to cross it again because it is now familiar with the sounds of the footsteps of Christ in your feet, the hope of glory. Nothing else can take the place of this walk that you're walking. You walked this path many, many times and many under many different names.
Yes.
And not now name that was given unto you in your suit was strong enough to disturb you then and is not strong enough to disturb you now. It appears in the illusion that you are having a problem with trying to tune into this divine self. Hold it. Hold. Jackie Gleason said, hold it. You've never been disconnected and you cannot. It is impossible. The lie that's coming up with the mind and the feelings, don't pay no attention, honey. It like a bucket with a hole in it. It don't hold no water. That this stuff is so, it's so there that they have an instrument or machine that runs along the railroad track, the rails. And this machine is designed to sharpen the edges.
Where we going?
Wait a minute, I'm telling you, I got a good step, girl. And I like this because when the rails of the train gets round over too rounded, it it won't stay on the rails like it should, and it can cause
Okay.
derailment.
Yeah, they can derail.
And they got machines now uh, that will run along the track and sharpen the edges. Yeah, yeah. And so what really, and then also they have engines, the newest engines, they have them uh, with uh, well, not dynamic brakes, but they this I had word to you did that, but anyway,
Just go ahead.
it's
Yeah.
they use what is called centrifugal force.
Okay.
They have by the weight of the wheels on the track with dynamic brakes, or what is called traction motors.
Okay.
That produces a electrical energy that goes down through the track and uses the vibrational frequency of the sound of the wheel to help it lock itself into the rails. So when you hear a train when it passes you and you hear some of the cars and the wheels going bump, 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 it's because somewhere down the line, that wheel uh, either got thrown on brakes and they had to slide and it really what they call a flat place in the wheel and it's bumping on the track. It would be like you having a car with a bad tire on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll run those wheels like that until it is necessary for them to change it. And when they change the wheel on those cars, they have machines that will raise up the box car or the engine on one end of it and roll the old set of wheels out and put the new ones in.
Mm-hmm.
This is a symbolized working of how your eternal self uses the rails and the tracking devices. Lord have mercy. Use the tracking device inside of you to help keep you on target without you having to pay a fee or go through a special mechanic. All your mechanical workings is structured into the fabric of your being. Now, when you get over there into your super self, you're going to find out that you wore the same exact clothes that Jesus wore then, and that he is now wearing the clothes that you have on now. You whether you either way you go, you're endued with power from on high then, and you're still endued with power from on high now. Mm-hmm. And the power that you're coming into is not a forceful power, but it is a grace of seeing and knowing that impedes you to the point that it automatically reveals the blood that flows through your vein is royal blood. It's the blood of Christ. It's the blood of every sage. It is the blood of those who wrote the Course in Miracles. It is those who are in the Vatican of the Roman Catholic Church that has any truth pertaining to God. It is now flowing through your eternal vein right now as we speak. There is a place in you where it says once upon a time, but it's over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. The story is now culminating itself into a solid form and has now been manifested through and by and in you 24/7. Now, if that don't bake your cake, you might as well get out the kitchen because I'm telling you, this stuff is something. I like to talk to you some crazy stuff because it just pulls up something on the table. Next time you sit down to eat a meal, invite the Christ Jesus to taste the food through your universal tongue. Smell the fragrance. Give him a chance to smell 2020, 21, 22 cooking. He will show you that he is the real natural part of you as well as the divine part. Amen. I rest my case.
What does that mean? You finished?
I'm finished.
But I don't know how to follow that ad. But...
Well, I understand.
Okay.
If not, I can give you some more.
I know you can. You said you were finished though.
Yeah, but I can unfinish. Breaking the scar tissues.
No, you're gonna jump from train to scar tissue.
Yeah, and it's still about train, but it's still breaking the scar tissue because some of those rails have to be they can be worn down so bad that the weight of the train causes a lot more working of the traction motors.
Yeah, I got all that, yeah. But I mean, how's that relative to what we're doing?
The tracks that I'm talking about is your life. Okay. It is your contracts. Track of the train. You are running a contract that you designed and fixed it for everything that's going on in this life to take place now. And you also in with indentum you put on there in small print, and nobody can read this small print but those that have the vision of their true identity. You can
Mhm.
read that small print, and let me tell you something. Your small print is more than that black ink on that paper and that page.
Mhm.
Your small print is something that is in the Akashic record. I saw this morning in the Vatican, they showed a library where there are old ancient scripts, ancient
Yeah, artifacts and
artifacts of
things. Yeah.
Bibles and things that over the thousands of years that's in the archives. That archives of information is in you. I heard it said, not anything is ever forgotten. And your high self,
It isn't. That was my point for bringing up
mhm,
about cloudy days and sunny
yeah,
days and
yeah,
how I feel in
mhm,
certain moods come up because nothing is ever forgotten. It's all stored in the subconscious, and so we have a lot of these things that come up. We don't know why, but I do know this: the desire to get relief from all of these different moods and uh, I'll say those times when the mind just won't shut up. The desire to get relief from that is the root of the separate self.
mm,
It's the separate self that's disturbed
mhm,
by it.
mhm,
You are not disturbed by it, but
right,
the separate self is disturbed by it.
right.
So we have a lot of people say, well, how do I get the mind to shut up? Well, it's not you that wants the mind to shut up. It's the disturbed mind that wants itself to shut up.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so we have identified so much with the one that's disturbed, but we don't realize that is still a residue or the root of the separate self that's saying I'm disturbed.
God is talking to you as Him, and you should talk to Him like He's you.
Mhm.
That's a whole different ball game than what the brick and mortar has taught us. I am gracious and blessed with the grace of God
Mm.
to hear that you, by revelation of the Spirit, have found Jesus Christ in everything you do. That is the big one. That is the 4,000 and the 5,000 that ate the fish and the loaves. You are the Peter, James, and John that distributed the fish and loaves among the families, including the children and the babies that they carried around. So it could have been from 5,000, it could have been 10,000 people on the mount that was being fed from a little boy's lunch.
Mhm.
Now you're sitting at the table again. You're ready to be called the Christ. You're ready to accept the one and only Son and daughter of God that ever existed in this universe. You're now ready to experience the full freedom of the vibrational frequencies of your Christ identity. Come on home. You still the son and daughter of God, regardless of how you feel after you get there.
Mm.
You may have a, mama say, mama say, mama say, mama say, mama say, mama say,
Mama
mama
say,
say, mama say, mama say, y'all brothers and sisters, you're not supposed to fight, but you're gonna have a knockdown drag out.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all a part of
yeah.
seeing the truth. But here's the clue: there's a part of you that can say, "Forgive me, I apologize."
Mm-hmm.
You can do it if you switch over to that part of you that's doing it, that's doing the forgiving and the loving. Now, you are a tool in the right place. You are the adjustment. Hold on, I hear something. I sense something. I can see something coming to somebody out there that's listening now. Some information in the mail that you've been waiting for, and it's good news. A lot of things have been broken and hurt in your life, but I see something coming to you that's going to release a satisfaction and a fulfillment in an area of your life that you've been waiting for, and it has finally happened.
Mm.
Okay? Now,
Mhm.
you are the Spirit of God, and you are the one that deserves the blessing. We get out of this false humility stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, none is righteous but God. Nobody's perfect but God. We don't put that on. We don't put that up on the shelf, and it's gonna stay there
Yeah.
because we know something.
Yes.
Like I always tell everybody, hold it down. Tie it down on the right side, the left side. Hold it in the middle, and keep on working it
Mhm.
because you're not gonna miss God, and you're not gonna step in the wrong place. You're about the only one that I know of that quicksand is too slow. You heard of quicksand? Well, we got some stuff you can walk on now that called slow sand. And in this slow sand, you might look like you're gonna sink. It won't take you. It's just like when Jonah was in the whale's belly,
Mhm.
he'll spit you out. God is spitting out over the land the awareness of a new insight of Himself as us. There are some people that are atheists. There are people that have turned against God that are coming back to Him. There are people who once was in.
Because they never. Well, anyway,
Come
go
on, talk
ahead.
to me.
Go
Go ahead. Go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead. They're coming back to him, but they've never. There's
Okay, go
no
ahead.
such thing as leaving him,
That's now. There you go. There you
except
go.
in your thinking and
Uh huh.
attention. That's the only place you can leave God. Uh, and then you're not really gone from God because God's right there in the midst of all of the chaos that you
Yeah.
created.
The miracle of everything is now. Somebody said to me on the phone, it might have been Miss Tiffany, said, God has finally got you to the place where it seemed like you're fired from the brick and mortar, but he said no. She said no. She said, you are ready for a new step and a new walk in your area of awareness. And I believe that. I believe that for all of us.
Yeah. I hope you're getting something out of this. We're kind of jumping around a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope you're getting something out of this. Uh, I want to say to you too that you're looking for, if it be relief or if it be more inspiration, if it be uh, peace, whatever it is you're looking for, it's not going to be found in anything outside of you. And and I say that because I have been guilty of looking for it outside myself. And if you find any of it outside yourself, it will be fleeting. It will not last. So the only time it is permanent is when you find it within. And the only way you can find it within is to go within where you truly are and leave that uh leave the movie, the
Mm-hmm.
story
Mm-hmm.
of your physical life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for even if you just do it for a brief second, if you just do it for a second, leave the story of your physical life and go within to where you are birthless, you're ageless and
Mm-hmm.
nameless.
Mm-hmm.
Go to that place where you can't define what you are. Go to that place and start from there. And when you find that place, you'll sense a lightening of the burden,
Mm-hmm.
a lessening of the desire the relief will automatically show up. It's like it automatically happens when you find home,
Mm-hmm.
when you go home to yourself.
I want you to be able to do like paraphrasing is. I'm getting ready to say, go out to your car and call your car anything you want to, and it won't stop being a car. Now you might start off with a car and end up with an automobile,
Mhm.
but there's a difference between an automobile and a car.
But let's get really practical. I
Yeah.
want to get really really practical because
Okay.
we can talk this mystical talk, but it won't register with those who are still struggling.
Mm-hmm.
in I'll take us for example. Just take us for example. Just be really, really transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor's got to go for another shoulder surgery. He'll be going on the 28th of this month.
And start this week, really.
Yeah, all of the prep and stuff
Mhm.
starts this week. Do we feel peace
Mm-hmm.
in this situation? Do we feel peace?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, we don't feel peace.
Okay.
But are we at peace? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Do we feel okay and happy about what's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
No. But are we happy right now? Yes.
Okay. I like the way
You see
that.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change the situation. I'm not dealing with the feelings.
Okay.
I'm not dealing with the thoughts. I'm surpassing them. I'm overriding them. I'm transcending them. I'm kicking them to the side and ignoring them. And I'm not consciously putting a lot of effort into trying to get relief from that. I'm just letting them be. I'm just letting them be.
Uh-huh.
Is my body feeling absolutely healed today? No.
Okay.
But am I healed? I am health. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the struggle leaves when you quit identifying yourself as the one who is disturbed.
Wow. That's good.
And I mean, we can't fix every problem. It's impossible to fix every problem.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, some of these problems are the challenges that you have to learn to endure and transcend because it's part of your evolution and they can't be gotten rid of.
That's right.
And so you have to find inside yourself the power that you are to override all of this stuff. You've got to find the power within to rise above it. It doesn't take the feeling about him having to go to surgery isn't going to go away. That feeling like, oh, I wish he hadn't. I wish he didn't do that. I wish he hadn't. Wish this hadn't happened. I wish that hadn't happened.
Been down that road.
Is that going to go away? No. But do I have to pay attention to it? No.
Once in a while, I feel like I do, but
yeah, because they don't go away. But in the midst of your paying attention, you wake up.
Yeah.
That's my point. In the midst of your paying attention to what you're feeling and thinking, you wake up. And that's what enlightenment is. You wake up in it.
God is awake.
Yes.
And we are now ready to go for the next step. Ready or not, here it comes.
Ready or not, yes.
That was an old school song we used to sing, and I was humming with it the other day. I had a mule. His name was Sal. 15.
Oh, I know. I can't remember
on
that
the Youre Canal. Good old work in a good old pal. 15
he
miles.
He forms music. That's why he's always trying to remember that song.
15 miles on the Youre Canal. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We're going to do what they said couldn't be done. Got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yeah.
We're eastbound and watch old Smokey run.
Yeah.
Smokey in the back.
Okay. Now. Okay. He wants to play. He's in a playful mood today. Okay. How can he be in a playful mood facing all of the things that are disturbing? It's because for the moment, he's pushed it to the side.
That's right.
He just pushed it to the side. Like, okay, it's there. So what?
The little engine that could.
Yeah. What about that?
I think I can. Then he goes, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I
Yeah,
think I
yeah, yeah.
can.
And I think the misconception is a lot of people think when you talk about awakening and enlightenment that you're going to automatically just float through this life and not feel anything. You're not going to feel what happens. You're not going to be troubled by it and all. But all of that's going to be there. We're saying these are just signs of living as a human in this earth. That's what that is.
I remember,
Just
baby, I remember so well in the snow when your sister was in the hospital giving birth to Shelly.
yeah. And Shelly was born on February the 13th, which was a Friday the 13th. And it was snowing so much nothing was moving. Nothing was moving.
So we had to go to the hospital and to pick that baby
pick up that
and her
baby
mama.
and her mom.
And they came to the house and stayed with us.
By the way, Renee is so petite and tiny, but when she had Shelly, she had gotten so large she was wearing a pair of your pants.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she couldn't fit in any of her clothes.
But we have come a long way with you guys, and I am happy. You know, there are a lot of our loved ones on the other side that are trying to communicate with us. And we know this to be true because some people don't like this kind of conversation, but we found out that Jesus communicated with those on the other side.
Well, he was never disconnected
That's
from them
right.
because
That's
they
right.
are not dead.
That's right.
They are
God,
more alive than we are.
Yeah, the God of the living.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming in with us today. We just wanted to touch up on a few little corners and edges to let you know that we are still with you. We're not going to leave you. We're not going to abandon you.
Right.
We're going to hold on.
I wanted to show you one more thing before we get ready to sign off because I know it's getting close to our time. But I was looking up a scripture this morning, and it's in. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 5:14. It says, "If we are out of our mind, it is for God. If we are sound mind, it is for you. For Christ's love compels us." And at the bottom, I put the definition of compel means to compress or arrest. To compel, perplex, afflict, preoccupy. It's like the love of Christ. It pushes us to follow a particular course of action. Okay? For Christ's love compels us because we are convinced that one died for all, therefore all died. And he died for all, that those who live should no longer live for themselves. Okay, so love compels. It constrains. In the King James Bible, it talks about constrained. We are constrained. The love of Christ constrains us. It pushes us to behave a certain way. It pushes us it forces us. It coerces us to act a certain way, to think a certain way. And it's to think in a way that we no longer live our lives for ourselves.
It's a highway to heaven. None can walk up there.
But the pure in heart, it's a highway to heaven. And I'm walking up the King's highway.
Woo!
It's a highway.
It's a highway.
It's a highway up to heaven.
Oh.
None can walk up there.
Yeah.
But the pure in heart.
Pure in heart.
It's a highway.
It's a highway.
It's a highway.
It's a highway.
It's a highway up to heaven, and I'm walking up the King's highway.
I went low there.
Yeah, you went. I went low with you too.
All right. Take a step.
Oh.
Gather your strength for the journey that you own and that's been set before you is a supernatural walk.
Yes, it is.
And
yes,
you're made out of the stuff that can get the job done.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And for those of you who want to give, and we thank you for your support and your loving support, I should say. For those of you who really been blessing Pastor and I
Mm-hmm.
through Cash App, we thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you, some of you who were never a part of Cornerstone as from the brick and mortar, you have been giving into Cornerstone and sending your offerings and your tithes, and we thank you so much for that. We really, really appreciate that. And so if you want to give to Cornerstone, you can text CLC Greensboro to 73256, or you can use the paypal.me/cornerstone35, or you can mail it if you don't have access to all of the other stuff. It's P.O. Box 36259, Greensboro, North Carolina 27416. And it's easy to give if you just go to the website, which is thecornerstonelifecenter.com, and the donate buttons are right there. All you have to do is just punch the buttons. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, down in the description, you have the links. You can just click the links and give right away. It's right there. You can, and even the Cash App is there for Pastor and myself on the YouTube. So you don't have to go leave where you are as what you're watching.
Okay.
If you're on your phone, you can just click it right now. If you're on your computer, you can click it right now. Those of you on your TV, just get your phone out or your laptop and do it. And so we thank you so much for blessing us. And with our testimony on Tuesday was somebody actually blessed us to pay off our new air conditioners.
Both of them.
To the tune of $13,000.
Yeah, and been there over
we haven't made but one payment on it. And it's amazing how God has blessed us to be able to be free.
We're looking forward to the $13,000 pay off the roof that we just had put on.
Yeah, which was last year.
Last year. But everything.
But we have had people who have helped us, and we thank you so much. We really appreciate your loving support. In the meantime, we will see you again on Tuesday.
Yes.
At 7:00.
Yes.
And
they call it Live and in Color.
And I will be announcing to you. Probably there'll be a couple of Sunday, or maybe one Sunday and Tuesday that we won't be live. We may have pre-recorded because Pastor will be doing his surgery or getting ready for his surgery, and so I will make sure that you guys know. So stay tuned to us. If you haven't subscribed so that you'll get notice of when we are coming on live,
and we'll keep in touch with you about how things are going.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll see you. We'll see you on Tuesday.
I want you to understand you are my family. You are our family, and we are absolutely amazed, and great blessings have come to us since we've been talking to you guys, and we wanted to continue on. Thank you so much for being with us, okay?
Yes. And in the meantime, we love you, and we'll see you later.
Okay. Bye-bye. You know what they make me remind me of?